is always a welcome development. The reason, as explained earlier, is because a lot of women do not really understand their own strength, because a lot of people continue to beat them down. We heard one of the speakers say that with everything that she has accomplished, that's Jules, someone said, oh, she slept her way to the top. This is something you hear a lot, and it needs to stop. What people do in their private is not your business, and it does not take away from the hard work. There's many men that are more sluts than women, but we don't define them by how many people they sleep with. And I understand the differences as well. Respecting that and understanding it still needs to stop. Enough already. Women need to be respected for the hard work that they do, that they bring to the table, and that they have expressed, in their lives. If you see a woman who works very hard, respect her for what she does and let her get what is due for what she does. And it's old to insult women with those kind of nonsense stuff. I implore a lot of women to stop being embarrassed by it. There is no strong woman that has not been called names. When you have the opportunity, look them in the eye and say, that's on you. That's a reflection of you, not me. I've had to take care of that. I've had to also give back a little bit. I have a studio in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm also into real estate, and I've recently relocated to the United States. I have businesses there also that I have to grow. So once an actor, always an actor. I will be coming back to the screens when I feel like it's time, and I prefer to do projects that are actually meaningful, rather than just doing projects just because we want to be working. I've done that when I was younger. So you'll see me back on the screens very soon. Like God's grace with projects that I know that I want to do. The lead in South Africa at the time, Tutsi won an Oscar. We've had another one, I think it was Casablanca from Morocco or something, I'm not very sure about that. So we've had, tickets here and we've had, I think, 1 or 2 nominations. So maybe the volume that we want, but we're working very hard. We're not trying to be mediocre, and we don't want to be pitiless. That's another thing that I'm talking about. We don't get to the point where they feel like, oh, let's just pity them. Let's just give it to them just because they're an African country. No, we want to earn our place. We want to show that we're storytellers. We want to show that we're intelligent. We want to show that we're just as good as every other industry in the world. And the time is now. The time is now.
I'm doing it for the wrong reasons. I'm really passionate, obsessed to the point with my job, wanting to be the best I can be, and I've realized it is all up to me.
So as a sports journalist?
So I spent many years as a newsreader, sports newsreader. I was a print journalist as well, studying rugby, and I was an editor of a newspaper. So I had to know sport, and I love watching a lot of sports. And I don't know the answer to that. It depends on what you prefer. If you're in news, like GH1, if you're in news, then it validates. And if I've gone through it and I've learned, why must you go through the same thing? Like if we could share, What an amazing platform. What an amazing space to come to learn, to be encouraged. I want to give major props to Nana Abba for what she has done here. We are not encouraged to have a community of women, and yet she has pulled her resources. She has pulled a community together, and today we have all come and we've had a wonderful experience. There's not one person who didn't learn something today. It's not so much a lesson as a validation that it doesn't matter who we are, where we're from. Our struggles are the same. Our struggles as women in male-dominated environments are universal. And I think once you understand that, you can understand how to move past it. You don't take it so personally. It's not a victim mentality. It's not, why me? This is happening to me. It just says, okay, this is one more thing I have to overcome. And that for me was very comfort. It's a strange thing to say, there's comfort in struggle, but to know that these things that we're going through are universal, it makes you feel like, okay, and there are other women who have succeeded, so I can do it as well. Yeah.
So you've been in Ghana since last week. How different is Ghana from South Africa?
It's very different. I can walk around with my phone in my hand, which I wouldn't really do at home. I'd be a little bit nervous to do that. It's very I've seen a lot of Ghana flags around. I don't know if it's just because it's Independence Day and leading up to the celebrations, but Ghanaians are very proud to be Ghanaian, right? Seeing the flags, I couldn't believe it. I kept saying, there's Ghana flags everywhere. I learned that people are crazy about football here. They are crazy about football. Wow. And South Africa is also crazy about football, but not always about the national team. Here, they're very passionate about the national team. And you'll definitely do rice better than we do. Definitely. No, you can't be scared because there's enough of us now to show you it can be done. I know that it's a very daunting space to be in. No one really knows where to start, but every journey will be different. I was a print journalist, starting in rugby. Other people started in radio, other people, were entertainers first and then in sports. So everybody's journey is different, and I will repeat this. Your power is in your uniqueness. There is nobody who's like you. So exactly like Omatola said earlier on, you have to lean into that. I finished matric, I had no idea what I was going to say. And don't be afraid. If you're passionate about it, it'll show. And that's really all. And you don't have to have everything figured out right away. I don't think so. Is there that kind of pressure on young people to do that? To know you want to be a doctor and to go into that? No, I don't think so. I think there's a saying that in your lifetime, you might have 7 different kinds of jobs or 7 different kinds of careers. So there is nothing permanent. You can go into something, discover that you don't like it and switch to something else. Hard work. Yes, maybe you need the privilege of having the funds or the time, but the only thing that's permanent, there's nothing that's permanent. The only thing that's permanent is death. Until then, you're still living. You can change. You can change your mind. You can follow a different career. It might mean that you have to do more work. Nana Ama, who's been my chaperone this week, she's working and studying. It's possible. The Women's World Cup in 2019, I anchored that for SuperSport. The Women's Africa Cup of Nations, we have Mamelodi Sundowns in the CAF Women's Champions League. They won it 2 seasons ago. And I think it's a tricky one, but I know from watching the Women's World Cup and from working on it and from hearing the comments that people were saying women's football it's cleaner, it's nicer to watch. But the problem comes in with sponsorship. It comes in with people say, well, they can't get paid the same as men because not enough people are watching it. But how does that start? That starts with sponsorship. It starts with media. It starts with putting that platform and making it visible. Just like anything else, as soon as it's visible, people will watch it. People will be talking about it. I think women's football has grown exponentially. The UEFA Euro women's final, I think, was sold out, when England won it. There's definitely a movement towards increasing, celebrating, making women's sport more visible. In South Africa, I don't know how big cricket is here, but in South Africa we recently had the ICC Women's T20 Championships. Unfortunately, the Momentum Proteas lost in the final to Australia, but the stadiums were sold out. That is marketing, that is support, that is making women's sport visible. So that's really all we can do. Yeah.
Let's go, get ready. Okay, let's go like this.
hearing stories of other women would obviously encourage you with whatever you're going through, because whatever you're going through, someone has probably gone through that before. And when you hear a story of another woman sharing the story, how she went through it or what she did to go through it, it would encourage you, it would strengthen you to be able to do that for yourself as well. So I think it's an amazing, I'm so happy to be a part of it, and more women should hear about this and join this. In 2023, Celeste Camp is coming out with fire. I'm not even gonna lie. It's we started this year with concerts, with sold out concerts. It's going to be fire till the end of the year. I mean, I have a couple of singles coming out, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. Yeah.
Thank you for watching Nation One TV. Kindly subscribe for more news updates.